Today's guest is someone who embodies resilience, heart, and the unshakable belief that your story isn't defined by your circumstances. It's defined by what you choose to do with them. You see, Logan Knowles was born with cerebral palsy, but he refuses to let that be his headline. Instead, he made the decision to chase something that most people will never even attempt in their lifetime. That's running in the New York City Marathon. And not only did he finish, he inspired millions along the way, including being featured in one of Casey Neistat's YouTube videos that showcased his true grit and spirit to the world. This conversation isn't about running, it's about identity, and it's about proving yourself that limitations aren't walls, they're actually just starting lines. In this episode, we dive into the why behind Logan Knowles. Let's get into it. So I want to start off with, when somebody asks, who is Logan Knowles behind all the labels, behind the cerebral palsy diagnosis, how do you answer that?
For me, I think really Logan is just this happy, outgoing guy that was born into the world, not knowing like what he had, but knowing who he was. Like I was always a adventurer, go-getter. I couldn't sit still. I always wanted to go do something cool, something that nobody else could do. And like, that's really who I was.
Yeah, I love that. Like, that's hearing that just gets me fired up to like do, as Casey would say, right? Like do more, and to not sit still, because there's just so much in this world to do, which we'll dive into your story and we'll talk about the Casey video here in a minute. But what's a misconception that people have about you when they first meet you?
The biggest one is that they hear my voice, they hear the way they see the way I move, and they think I'm mentally delayed to some sort. And I'm not at all. It's just my voice is affected because of the way my cerebral palsy affects my muscles in my neck, so that causes a deeper voice. It's hard to talk, different kinds of movements. So if people don't understand what CP is, they automatically go down the rabbit hole. Oh, he doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know what he's doing. That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Is that, like now knowing that you have CP, and of course, I imagine when you're, in airports or at the malls, like you get a lot of people that are like kind of looking side eye.
Yeah. And like now it's even weirder because I got people that know me, and then I got people that don't know me, and they still give me that kind of look. So it's like this weird reality where I see both sides of it,
Yeah. It's interesting. Like, preparing for the show, I was thinking a lot about, so many people dream about being famous, right? Like where when you're walking down the street, people are looking at you and they want to know who you are. But then also like the flip side of that, you having CP, everyone's always looking at you and they're building some type of assumption or judgment in a way. Yep. And so it's almost like you're low key famous.
Yeah. It's like a weird reality. Like I'm seeing more because I'm different. Now that can be a good way for some cases, or it can be a bad way for some cases.
For sure.
Yeah.
Are there ever times where you like just wish that people would be like, "Hey, just stop looking like I'm a regular person like you"?
I don't mind the looking. I just wish that people would have the courage to come up to me and have a conversation, and not like I see all the time where. Like I'll try and talk to someone and they're looking at me, but they don't acknowledge that I'm saying something because their mind is always somewhere else about me as a person and who I am mentally.
Yeah, it's almost like they're crafting their story of like, oh, he must not all be there, or like, you always see in the movies where like the person starts to talk really loud because like I can hear you. You don't have to yell at me.
Yep.
Well, let's transition a little bit and talk about, I think, what kind of made you, I guess, blow up and kind of be a little low key internet famous here for the past few months. For those that don't know, like, I'll link it here in the description below, but you were in one of Casey Neistat's videos, and I just looked it up again, and that video has 2 million views. That's insane. So, like, just the thought of 2 million people have seen you, like, what is that like? Tell me about that.
It's like different because it's like tell me and like I forget about the video because I have so many other things I'm working on, and I'll be at a restaurant and 10 people are like, oh, you're that guy. I'm like, oh, I kind of stand out either way. So it's kind of different. And it's funny because like, my mom was in the video. So now she goes out and she'll like call me. She's like, I don't know what to do. There's 10 people trying to talk to me.
I mean, it's kind of cool, right? Like,
Yeah.
being in a small town.
Yeah.
How did that end up happening? Like, we'll get into the marathon and more of the story, but like, what specifically, like, how did you end up in Casey's video? Like, talk to me about that first process.
Yeah. He kind of just saw me running and like me training. And he was like, he reached out like, hey, can't wait to see you in New York. And just kind of found me. And then he later on got the idea to do the video. So,
Were you a fan of Casey Neistat's before that?
Yeah. It's so weird because like I would come home from like high school and just watch his videos every day. Like I love the guy. Like I told him the story about like the boosted boards.
I just saw one here the other day.
Yeah. So when I went to college, I'm like, how am I gonna get around college? Because it's hard to walk, it's hard to get to places on time. I'm like, I have a good idea of my boosted board. My mom, nope, no go. And then when he was here, he's like, good job, mom.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I mean, pretty validating for your mom that she made the right decision. Yeah. That's, I think, what you described, I think a lot of people that know Casey in his videos did the same thing. They would come home from high school or college and just watch his videos. I think when I found his videos, probably it's got to be 10 years at this point now. It was just such an outlet for me. Like, I would feel energized and I would look forward to watching his videos because there was always some type of good messaging or story.
Yeah. And it's also like the way he filmed. He just had that eye. Like, it was so cool. You can just hear watching him. It's like, you just he's just a different human and can see things that other people just don't see. And then that's why he became who he is. And he's just such a humble human as well.
Yeah, and I think that's where a lot of people have like the misconception about him, right? Because he's obviously YouTube famous and one of the OGs in YouTube. But for people that do know him now, like you're on a personal level with him. It sounds like he's just a normal guy. Like what you see online is who he is as a person.
Yeah, like we're gonna go skiing together sometime. Like, you just let go, So
yeah. So for those that have seen the video, which of course 2 million people have, what's something that the world saw in the video, but maybe didn't see like the behind the scenes about you as a person?
That's the tough one.
That's what this podcast is, a lot of tough questions.
What did they see in the video? I guess they didn't show much of the preparation it took for the marathon. Like, we dealt with so many issues between the shoes, my fuel, because, like, I'm burning 40% more calories than the typical human. So, like, it was great in the end, but the work just to do it, and I barely did it. But it was just months of oh, I gotta go run 4 hours a day, and I can't do anything else for the rest of the day. I can't go hang out with friends because my body's just shot. And then to wake up and go run another 2 hours or 3 hours, just months and months of that. And I did got to the point where I'm doing this because it was such a big plan for my family to go. And David Barbaro, the CEO of ATF, Mike the Keneally, who helped me out, I just kind of got possessed. I have to do this. So I think just seeing that side of the story that people don't see. So
Yeah, kind of all like it sounds like the preparation and all like
yeah,
I would almost call it the dark days where
yeah.
where you wake up.
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Nobody knows you're out there. You're just, I remember I go for a run and be 4 hours and I'm just what am I doing? You're just watching the day go by. Yeah.
I mean, so many people struggle just to get out of bed in the morning and do 30 minutes of just some type of exercise, let alone run for 4 hours. And I think with your diagnosis, it puts even more of a strain on your body. So it's almost like you're killing a whole entire day, it sounds like.
Yeah, because I'm dead for the rest of the evening. I'm dead the day after. Yeah, I would have to do long runs once a week.
Yeah.
So
we'll dive more into the running journey because I've got a bunch of questions there too, but I've got a few more specifically about the video with Casey.
Yeah.
Being in that, it sounds like a lot of people in your town obviously start to talk about it. But did that change anything for you? Did that change your mindset? Has opportunities been opened up? Have you felt more pressure from being in that video?
No, I think people give me more respect, which is kind of nice, because I think more people understand me as a person and not me as Logan with TP. They understand who Logan is. And that's the cool part about the video, is that now it's so much easier just to go talk to people because they already understand who I am, what I'm doing, my goals, my ambitions. They see all that. So that's the cool part of it.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that had to have been so freeing for you for people to now see you almost as a quote unquote normal person without having this stigma now.
100%. The people that saw the video, they're oh my God, can we get a picture? Can we hang out? Can we talk? They're not oh yeah, TP, don't talk to him. It's the complete opposite. They want to understand what I am and who I am.
Yeah, I mean, that's the nice part about being, what Casey does, but being in this video is it opens the door for people to be curious about, well, what is CP?
Exactly. And that's why I did the marathon, because I was just me doing it. I wanted to just show people, hey, I'm just a normal guy. And for that kid with cerebral palsy that may have saw a post on Instagram of me running, maybe it helped them go do whatever they want to do and not be afraid of anything else to get in their way.
Yeah, I mean, it's an inspirational story. You and I were talking in the green room before we started, and I think that video came out sometime in December. And I remember it in so well. I've always been the person where any type of fitness journey that I've started in my life, I've always been inspired and excited to start a plan, but I've always quit. I've always just given up on it. Seeing your video, it unlocked something in me. I don't know if it was a mixture of your story and a mixture of obviously being inspired by Casey, but since seeing that video with him, with you, I have been on a very strict running plan. I ran the 5K and the Austin Marathon a few weeks ago, and I'm training for now a 10K, and then I plan on doing the half marathon next year. And that's all because of you. That's all because of seeing your video.
That's awesome.
So, you truly
maybe I'll come do it too.
Let's do it again. Maybe you'll pace me. I would be honored if you did that. That'd be wild. That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of, all the running and, Casey's video and whatnot, it was mentioned in there, and this was mind blowing when I saw it, but roughly every 10 miles, you burn through your sneakers and you have to
Yeah.
get a new pair.
Yep.
And so before I ask about that, just to set the tone for people, what that means is I think the under part of the toe, you literally
Yep.
will burn a hole through it.
Yep.
So like, talk to me about that. Like for sneakerheads, that would be a dream to have new sneakers every 10 miles.
You don't want to pay for that.
No.
Yeah.
But it like has like Nike or anybody reached out to work with you around that?
There's a couple that have and think they're in the works, which is pretty cool. So
Yeah. I mean, that's got to be something on those, dark days where you're running 4 hours. Like, man, maybe this is worth it one day.
Yeah. That's all I can say for now, but some cool stuff is in the works.
Some cool stuff coming soon. Maybe
Yeah.
like a Logan Knowles collaboration at some point.
Yeah.
But like, so, expanding on that, because obviously I don't want you to have to like talk about things that you're not allowed to talk about.
Yeah.
Running specifically in the New York Marathon, every 10 miles you had to pull off to the side and literally put on a brand new pair of shoes because you would burn a hole in it. Like, talk to me about that process.
So, like, it was so fun. So my trainer, his name is Neil, he's a lawyer in Dallas, and he's doing ultra marathon. And like, I'm like, Neil, I want to do a marathon. And he's like, okay, I'll train you. And I'm like, what are we going to do about shoes? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, they're going to burn out really quick. He's like, no, you'll get 50, 100 miles, you'll be fine. And I'm like, okay. So I go to his house, train for a week. Within 4 days, I need a new pair. He's like, what? And I'm like, I told you, this is going to be the biggest problem for me running the marathon. Not that I couldn't physically do it, but how do I go through that amount of shoes and not have a job? Because I didn't work, because I knew I had to train so much. And I'm like, this is going to be a big bill. So,
that's like just to think about not even completing a run and already have to like change out your shoes.
So like I did like 4 or 5 like 15-mile plus runs. I would go through 2 pairs on those days.
So are you like, if you're doing that, are you bringing shoes with you in a backpack, or are you running halfway?
So I did like a lap and then I would come back home. I'd fuel, change shoes. I did like a 4 or 5 mile loop. So that way every 4 or 5 miles I could get water, food, electrolytes. And then when I need new shoes, I would switch out.
Like this sounds like a cool opportunity to like almost make a shoe museum of like,
I have more. So whenever I have a house, I'm going to put them all on the wall and be like, you get marathon 2025.
You 100% should, and like call it like a hole in the wall.
Cool. Yep. I went through like 55 pairs training for the marathon. Yeah.
Was it the same type of sneaker for the whole entire race?
Yeah, because the one I wore were the best for stability, for on and off, for just the way I run. So, I tried a couple others. They called clamps. Some did last longer, but they just hurt my feet so much.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's, I mean, now that I'm getting into the running scene and I've got 2 different pairs that I, kind of interchange depending on what type of running I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's wild how personalized a sneaker can be for somebody. And especially for you, where you're putting so much emphasis on, is the left foot, I think I remember?
My right foot.
Your right foot.
It's not that emphasis. It's that when I pull through, my toe catches.
Yeah.
Because I can't dorsey foot quickly enough to clear it. And like I tried workouts and everything, and just my whole life I ran through shoes or walked through shoes. Like when I was a kid, my mom had to buy shoes every month just because of the way I walk. So
I would imagine that that's a pretty common thing for people with cerebral palsy.
Yeah, yep, a lot of them deal with the same stuff and other conditions as well, you
Sure.
know. So,
Yeah. Sounds like, whatever is working, or whatever you have
yeah,
working in the background, this could be an opportunity to, help a lot of people that are
yeah,
going through that, and they just maybe they feel alone, so like
yeah.
it's really cool to hear what you're doing.
I'm really excited for what it could become.
Yeah,
So,
I'm excited. I'm excited for that too. I'm excited to watch your journey.
thank you.
I want to go a little deeper into the running journey because for the people that are listening that don't know your story, doctors told you when you were a kid that you would never, let alone run, let alone
Yeah,
run a marathon. They told you would never walk.
yep.
So like that is, you want to talk about like a superhero story, that's overcoming every
Yeah,
odds people have. Um,
yeah.
talk to me about talking about what that has done for your mindset.
I mean, I didn't know if I could do it, first of all. Nobody knew if I could do it. It was just some idea. And,
Yeah.
like, the fact that I actually did it, it kind of resets the whole, like, this is what I told, but this is what I could do. And, what are the limits of cerebral palsy or any condition, you know? And, like, I want to do more now, which is crazy, you
Yeah,
know?
because like I was looking at your website researching this, and I think I saw somewhere on there it was like Logan Knowles just completed his first marathon. I was like, oh
Yeah,
shit, this guy wants to
yeah.
do more marathons now.
We'll find out. My problem is I can't sit still. I'm
Yeah,
always moving or doing something.
yeah, because preparing for the show, you and I were like kind of locked down a date, and I think I saw on
Yeah.
Instagram you were skiing, and then you're like, hey man, we got to bump it to next week. I just got a black eye, so like you're
I,
always doing something.
yeah, yeah. I'm like, I don't know if we should have black eye, but oh well.
It adds more like character for your story.
Yeah. Yep.
Did you have a moment, leading up to the marathon when you're like, holy shit, like I'm gonna do the damn thing, like I'm gonna actually like complete this monster?
Yeah. So like I like the month before it was a lot back and forth with me and training because like I'm behind on my schedule. I got sick. I didn't feel good for it for 3 days, and then I couldn't do a long run. So we had like one more week where we could do a full week and a long run. And my trainer's like, you have to hit every mark every day, or you're not gonna make it. And I did. So, and that's when I finally realized this is doable. I ran 38 miles in that 1 week, and that then went, okay, now we're in the ballpark of after finishing the race.
Yeah, I mean that is so many miles in a week.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
are you the type of runner like when you're out there, because obviously your body is changing and tensing up, are
yeah.
you listening to music, or is it more of just self-talk of like I've got to get through this?
Music,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that makes sense.
Music helped a lot for
um
me.
yeah, and yeah, it helps out a lot of people too, I think.
Yeah,
For me, I depend. I started out with music, but I've noticed I'm more of a podcast person when I'm running.
yep,
Like listening to the conversation distracts from what I'm doing.
yeah,
Uh, but I think it's the science of at least you have something in your head that's you're to
yeah,
focus on, like a beat or a rhythm.
yep.
Walk me through the moment when you actually crossed the finish line in the marathon. Because documented in Casey's video that like your body was just tensing
Yeah,
up. You could see the pain on your face.
yeah. I collapsed. Like, I couldn't go any farther. Like, so my two helpers, David and Mike, they helped me the last half mile,
Yeah.
and then they let me go to get across the line, and then there was just nothing in the tank. Like, yeah. And that was like the coolest way to do it, because it's like, okay, I gave it everything,
Yeah.
and to be at that place, I don't think a lot of people get to that place,
Yeah.
and it's just such a cool place because you forget everything. And you're just so present in the moment, you know?
Yeah, that's what I had. I just had the winner of the Austin Marathon on,
Yeah,
and I was talking to him about his mindset, and I think he mentioned somewhere, maybe it was around like mile 18 or somewhere, where he was like, you just have to focus, like your mind just goes into a
yeah,
different state, and you have to unlock it to like keep pushing yourself to keep going.
yeah, yeah,
That's wild. Um,
yeah.
you had mentioned, having, of course, cerebral palsy affected your training physically. Did that do anything mentally for you though? Because I would imagine you said you were exhausted. So like, how are
Yeah.
you staying in a mental like energy throughout the day, throughout your training program?
I mean, I think my mental energy was fine. I think it was more the dealing with the physical pain
Yeah.
and like how to recover the best way and like mentally just the hardest part was like just not doing what I wanted to do because I had to go run, you know?
It's a lot of time.
Yeah, yeah,
um, I'm hoping for people that watch this, they can start to understand more of what cerebral palsy is and
yep,
really put some more, eyes around it, and normalize it in a way, right?
yeah.
So, like, I think I would like to know for you, what's something that cerebral palsy taught you that you actually wouldn't trade for anything else?
I think it taught me patience, you know, and like I have to be patient with almost every person everywhere I go.
Yeah.
When they ask me to say another word, or they get mad because it takes me a little bit longer, I can't get upset because if I get upset, that they're gonna fuel the situation. And I think CP just taught me, like, it's okay to go slower, just do things the right way. And that focus to take that time to make sure whatever I'm trying to do is done correctly.
Yeah. Because I feel like some people would almost, I don't know if embarrassed is the right word, but they would rush through things to try to like overcompensate for CP to, make
Yeah,
everyone else around them feel comfortable.
yeah, but what I learned when I tried to rush, that's when I made mistakes,
Yeah.
and you learn you don't want to make mistakes. So yeah,
I mean, there's a science that, you always hear like if you do things slower, you'll do it more methodical anyways.
yeah,
So, so many people are trying to like get off of social media and like just slow down, and you're
yeah,
already practicing that anyways.
yeah,
So you're kind of giving people
but
life advice.
yeah,
um, throughout your life, I think I saw on Instagram and doing some research, you played baseball at some point. You were
yep,
running and skiing. So
yep.
you've done more than what a lot of people would have in their life. Have you ever felt underestimated at all, like going through all that?
Yeah, I think people like hear I'm a skier or run or whatever, and they don't understand to what level, you know. Like I ski, like I just missed qualifying for the Paralympics. Like
It's
I
amazing.
ski at a pretty high level, you know. I don't think people understand the Paralympics and how hard it is just to do it, and that's where I felt underestimated because they don't know the time and the effort I put into becoming the best skier I could physically be, you
Yeah.
know. And that's the cool thing about Paralympics. The best skier that I can be is not going to be the same as the best skier of my opponent because everything's in a handicap system, so we can all compete on the same stage, and it tries to make it fair. And it's so cool to see that, because it's like we're all pushing for different levels of the best athlete we can be.
Yeah, you're pushing to like what you said in that marathon where like you're unlocking a part of your brain that like it's just pure
Yeah,
clarity because you have to focus literally on that exact.
yeah, yeah,
Like when you were talking about that, I would have loved to prepare a little bit more before this and see if I could find if there's anybody that has ever won gold in the Paralympics and has also completed the New York Marathon. You might be the first person literally in the history of the world.
Maybe in 4 years, that'd be pretty cool. I'm pretty sure there's only a handful of people with CP of my level that have ran a marathon.
Yeah,
I know of like 3 or 4, and that's it.
That's wild.
Yeah.
If you think out to 3 or 4 years, and let's say you're selected to Team USA and you're on that team, like talk me through what that would be like for you.
Relief. Because I've been trying to qualify for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And there's definitely been moments of like, do I keep doing this? Like, is it worth my health? Is it worth the financial commitment? Is it worth not having a full-time job because I'm training so much? So that's where it gets hard.
Yeah, because I think any athlete at that level, you have to give up so much of your life and so much sacrifice to try to chase this dream.
Yep.
I resonate with that so much because you and I were talking a little bit before this. I've been a photographer in the paintball space over the past few years, and I had to sacrifice so many weekends to travel the world and like go travel and do all of this. And luckily, like it's gone on to be like an award-winning career. But if I didn't win the awards, like it would be hard to justify all of it.
Yeah.
So I get the pressure that people have now.
Yeah. And that's the problem, like with the Paralympics. If you don't go to the Paralympics, you're really not known in that world, So it's like when you don't qualify, that sponsorship money, that, all the publicity that you don't get, and then you have to figure out how am I going to fund another 4 years without that kind of publicity to back up what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, keep going.
Because the companies want support, but they also want value. And that's harder in the Paralympics just because it's not as publicized, We're not on NBC every weekend. You only see us once every 4 years on live TV.
Yeah, and that's what you just described is like the stuff that no one really sees or accounts for, right? It's the flights to train, it's the food, it's the hotels, the rental car. Like it's so expensive, and then to not have a full-time job, like you're literally sacrificing your career to go train this.
And also the U.S. government doesn't support Paralympic athletes, just like the rest of the world. The Paralympic athletes have full funding.
Yeah.
And, that's cool because, right now, I'm out here building a foundation to support Paralympic athletes.
Oh, wow.
That way we can connect athletes to companies or agents or give them funding so that they can chase their dreams of being on the Paralympic team.
Have you ever just taken a step back for a moment and realized what you're doing? You are doing more than what majority of people will ever do in their life in terms of the training that you're doing, in terms of just inspiring people, let alone, right? You inspired me to run, but now you're trying to inspire other people, whether they have CP or not, on what they can do in their life.
Yeah.
You are an incredible person. I hope you can take a step back and realize that.
Thank you. I just I see problems and I want to fix them. Yeah. I don't stop until I get there. Because I just can't sit still,
Yeah, I was just talking with somebody about this, and I was talking to my wife recently too about the most successful people in the world, your top level leaders and CEOs. When a problem is brought to them, it's instantly they think of a resolution or, well, yeah, let's go fix it.
Yeah.
And there's no like excuses around it. And it sounds like that's kind of the way your brain works too, is when you see problems, like, yeah, why would we not fix it?
Yeah, it's like if people tell me we can't, we can. There's got to be some way that we can figure out. We may not know now, but we can learn within a couple months and find a solution.
Yeah, put a plan together.
Yep.
And I think it was mentioned in that Casey Neistat video where you had mentioned that you thought everything was quote unquote normal until you saw pictures or videos of yourself as a kid. And you're like, well, that's kind of strange.
Yeah.
Talk me through that. Cause I think a lot of people, whether it's cerebral palsy or not, they think that, that what they are normal until they end up seeing a picture and they see maybe they have a disc formation or, something is off. So talk to me about that moment, because that's such a unique moment for people.
Yeah, it was so weird because like when I was a kid, I would go play, hang out, good be a kid. And then as I got older, I would notice the way I was treated different. Yeah. And like the funny thing about it is, like, for instance, on the playground, I couldn't keep up with other kids. And the way I took it is that, oh, that's my fault because I'm not working hard enough to keep up. So I would try and work as hard as I could so I could keep up. Well, I was never going to because I have CP. And then when I saw videos of me, I'm like, oh, that's what. Because I felt normal. Like, CP feel normal to me. And like, it just was normal. So I didn't notice that, like when I ran, I felt like I could run just like anybody else. Yeah. I didn't feel slower because I wasn't used to how a normal person felt.
Yeah. Is that one of the, like, and when I was doing some research for the show, one of the questions that I saw that a lot of people ask people that have cerebral palsy is, what does it feel like? And that would be like, it's just your normal life. It's not going to feel any different.
Like, I feel normal, but it's like the major stuff, I feel normal. But when I like twitch, I feel that. And it's almost like I feel tightening in my muscle. Yeah. And so it's weird because you're not controlling it. It just happens, Like, I'll be in the middle of a business meeting and my shoulder will lock up. And I'm like, I can't control this. Like, and I just keep talking. So
it's just part of it.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that other people that have CP will see this and get inspired by you. So, let's hypothetically say hundreds of people that have CP have this and they see this podcast with you. What's something that you would want to tell them?
Just to be themselves and don't let the world that sees them define who they are. Because, like, for instance, me, like, I knew I wanted to go do stuff, and for a while, I let the world hinder that. Like, I used to not want to run because people would look at me. Well, maybe if I ran sooner, I would have done more. So, whatever your mindset is the thing that you want to accomplish. Don't let the outside world dictate if you go after that or not.
Yeah, I mean, that's it's like, it's so funny. If I took that same question and removed CP, that's just life advice for everything, right? It's like, don't worry about what other people are judging you about, maybe what you're wearing or what you're doing.
Yeah, but for CP, it's so much harder because you overthink, like, everything you want to do. Like, when I was in high school, there was a moment where, like, I wouldn't even go to dinner with my family because I didn't want people to think I was just stuck with my mom because that's how people thought, And I was so conscious about that.
Yeah, it's almost like you hyper fixate on it, which I would imagine that would just build up insecurity like crazy.
Yeah, because it's like everywhere you go, you notice the way you're treated and the way, and for me, it really got to me. And then, like, when I was like 17, I'm like, you know what? Why should I be let this hold me back when there's just people that don't understand it? And I'm pretty sure if they understood it, they wouldn't treat me the way they did. So why should I be mad at them because of something they don't understand?
That's beautiful. I mean, that's like
Yeah,
if you can or if you can solve that part of your brain, like
yeah,
you're limitless at that point.
yeah, yeah.
Nothing will
But
hold you back.
like that's the truth because it's like people were treating someone, but
Yeah.
like it's not their fault because they weren't educated. So why can't I be the one to educate them?
Yeah, I mean, you've got a platform now, and
Yeah,
have done so much representing that community
yeah,
essentially. So, like, why not help that?
yeah. And like every day I try and like if I see someone, I'll try and form a time be like, hey, this is what it is. They're always so shy, and then they're like, oh, okay, you know.
It
So
it's crazy how like when you humanize something, like
yeah,
the judgment that people just is like it just
let go.
evaporates. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
You had mentioned in high school, obviously it was kind of harder and like you shied away from people. And I think everybody, whether you are diagnosed with CP or not, we all go through low points, right? Whether it's
Yeah.
physically or emotionally. What's your process when you like kind of hit a low point?
I mean, it was hard. Like I didn't know where to go, and that's where I found Keen. Like that's what my mind hyperfixates on. Like I would find these outside things that I would want to do, and that be kind of my distraction from that low point. You know?
Yeah, it seems like learning more about you is you're a very when you think of something, like you
Yeah.
hyperfixate, you obsess about it, and that
Yeah.
almost becomes your identity and like something that you can escape to.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. If we go back, right, let's go back 15 some odd years. And
Yeah.
if you're the younger version of Logan could see you now, what do you think he would say to you?
Don't be as shy as you were. Like
Yeah.
I think my condition made me shy, but when people would get to know me, I was the opposite of that. And I always knew that I was the outgoing person that wanted to be socially involved and like just tell myself like, hey, like if people don't understand, they'll figure it out. And like you have your own life, you have your own mission, and like don't let anything stop you from that mission.
I love that.
Yeah,
What's the message you want people to like take away from your story when they see it? Like when they, because that Casey video has 2 million views now. Give it a month, it'll
yeah,
probably be up to 3 million. So like, what do you want people
yeah.
to take away from that when they watch it?
Just like just don't be afraid and like have like the marathon was this crazy idea that I just wanted to do, and
Yeah.
then sometimes the crazy idea gets even crazier, and like just you know when something seems impossible, it's probably possible if you figure out the right way to do
Yeah, and I think you just hit the nail on the head, right? Is
it. Yeah,
when you have a goal and something you want to do, you prepare for it. But then that journey, it's never a straight line. It's always twists and
yep,
turns, and like you're faced with so many obstacles and adversity, and that's where you learn more about yourself as a person.
yeah.
Yeah. What's the next, we'll call it, mountain that you want to climb? Like what's the next marathon style thing that you want to tackle?
It might be a mountain.
It
Yeah,
might be a mountain.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
There's a couple of things in the works. I'm getting the marathon itch again, so if I have the right support, I would love to do another marathon.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, like I've always wanted to go helicopter skiing, because I love skiing and that's like the pinnacle of skiing. So really put myself on like an 8,000-foot mountain and it's me versus the mountain something that I love. And I just think that would be so beautiful. Like if we could film that, and tell that story. Because like the reason I learned how to ski was I used to watch backcountry skiing and helicopter skiing. Yeah, I still haven't done that. So that'd be like a really cool goal.
I mean, that sounds like that's already on your bucket list of something you're
Yeah,
going to tackle.
eventually, yes, I
Yeah.
will. My
And
mom
that's,
might, my mom might kill me for that one, but who will?
well, maybe that's one of those things that, like, don't tell her about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, that would be such a cool story is, if you're able to document that whole entire journey, right? Like I
Yeah,
could see that living on YouTube somewhere as like a mini docu series and just
yeah,
people learning not only about you, learning about CP, but then
yeah,
also the bigger story is how do you overcome all of this adversity? Like that would just be
yeah.
wild.
And then like I could help like take other people with sleeping on their goal that they have a crazy goal to do, and
Yeah.
just yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
I've got a few more questions for you. This has been
Okay.
awesome so far. I think over the past few years, it's been documented that you've gone on different speaking engagements
Yep.
and you've been a motivational speaker. What have been some of the messaging that the audience gets back from you? Obviously you go off stage and people, I'm
Yeah.
sure, you talk to you. Like, what are some of
Yeah.
the takeaways that they're telling you?
It's really like mind blowing. Like I've had people full out cry because when I walk in the room, they think I'm that dumb person, and then they're like, "Oh, he's the one giving the keynote," and then they get to see the whole reality of it
Yeah.
and understand who I am, and like, they're like, you were born to do this kind of stuff, and that means the world because I love speaking, I love being on stage, I just love that whatever I say can help somebody else. I live by if you can help somebody else every day, you're doing a pretty good job. So
It's
that's my motto. Yeah.
That's a great motto. I
Yeah.
think you hear it a lot from whatever sport or activity that people are involved in. When you become a master is when you are able to teach somebody and help somebody, and like
Yeah.
you're doing that. You're
Yeah.
inspiring, helping people every day.
Yeah. And that's the cool thing about. That's why I'm almost happy I have CP because I couldn't do that without CP. So
Yeah. See, like right there, that is the piece. Like that's the gold in it, where
yeah.
somebody could look at you or somebody who has cerebral palsy and be like, oh wow, I don't want that, and you're looking at the opposite
Yeah.
of, okay, this is my superpower.
Yeah.
Like this is unlocking the world.
Yeah. Because it's like you're gonna make me better man, boy, wherever I go in life. My family,
Yeah.
my kids. I wouldn't want to change who I am because it taught me things that I would have never learned.
Yeah, gosh, that right there, that is so beautiful.
Yeah.
That's what I
And,
hope people take away from that is,
yeah.
own who you are as a person, whatever you have or don't have,
Yep.
because that's what's going to make you special.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. So when everything is, stripped away, like all the medals, the labels, the stories, what do you want to be remembered for? Like, what do you want Logan's legacy to be?
There's someone that stood up for education and awareness and what the world should understand and how the world should perceive different conditions and really building inclusivity into our world because so much of our world is very opposing of inclusivity. And like, for instance, like in Mexico, they don't have inclusive schools, and that's on the border of USA, and that the world has a long way to go in this progress to being fully inclusive.
Man, I love that. We literally need more people like you in this world that like
And
are, one, they want to go tackle that, but two, they're
yeah,
not afraid to do that. And that's the kicker.
thank you. Yeah, it's just like I don't think people realize like how lucky they may have it. And like, I'm lucky, even though I have TPD, there's always somebody else that needs help. And if I can somehow be there, I'll be there.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like I had mentioned in the middle of the episode, that was me with you when I saw your video with Casey. I was like, man, this guy can do this. So like, why am I giving myself excuses? Like, you know, shame on me for doing that.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're holding people accountable in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, man, Logan, this has been so amazing. I can't thank you enough for being on. You have just inspired more people than I think what you can realize. You know, if I would challenge you after we're done wrapping up here, like go online, you know, go to whatever AI tool you use and type in, give me a visual of what 2 million people look like.
Yeah.
And just watch how many stadiums full of people are 2 million. That's wild.
It's pretty cool. It means a lot. And I just hope to do more, you know, and showcase other conditions and other people that are trying to do the same thing I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, let's put this in the world. Like, let's manifest it. When you are on the Paralympics team, when you do get chosen, we're gonna get you back on this podcast and talk about everything that you've done in between that.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, awesome. Well, Logan, thank you so much for coming on, and to everyone else, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Shellda Podcast, and we'll catch you next time. See ya.